North Korea have tested another missile. They called it Hypersonic Missile.
North Korean state media released images of the latest missile test, which was detected by its neighbors a day earlier. Still photos taken from the site show the missile blasting off from a mobile launcher, and separately, country leader Kim Jong-un in a small cabin with officials, including his sister Kim Yo-jong. The launch location was not mentioned in the official report. This is the first time that North Korean media has shown Kim at what they describe as a hypersonic missile launch, a type of weaponry North Korea claims to have first been tested back in September. The launch is the second in a week by North Korea, following a series of weapons tests last year, underscoring how North Korea is continuing to expand its military capabilities in defiance of international opposition. Meanwhile, South Korean Joint Chief of Staff says North Korea fired what likely was a ballistic missile from the area of its northern Jagang province. The weapon flew 700 kilometers, maximum speed of around Mach 10, before landing in waters off its eastern coast, demonstrating a more advanced capability than North Korea's launch last week. Meanwhile, the United Nations is condemning this launch of a North Korean ballistic missile. The launch comes as North Korea continues to demonstrate its military might during a self-imposed pandemic lockdown and deadlock nuclear talks with the United States.
North Korea didn't immediately comment on the test.
Seen this launch, we're very concerned. The Secretary General is very concerned by this latest development and reiterates his call on the leadership in the DPRK to comply fully with its international obligations under all relevant Security Council resolutions and to resume talks with the other parties concerned about the situation on the Korean Peninsula. As we've said again, we are convinced and believe that diplomatic engagement is the only way to reach a sustainable peace and a complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
Responding to the latest situation in the Korean Peninsula, China calls other countries not to overreact to North Korea's launch.
Well, the U.S. says the launch clearly does highlight the destabilizing impact of the North Korea's illicit weapons programs.
Clearly does highlight the destabilizing impact of the DPRK's illicit weapons programs. It violates multiple UN Security Council resolutions. It poses a threat to the DPRK's neighbors and to the broader international community. There are no preconditions. We think that diplomacy and dialogue is a viable option right now. It is, we think, incumbent on the DPRK to cease these provocations, to demonstrate that they too are interested in and hopefully serious about this dialogue. And if they are, they will find a willing counterpart in the United States and our allies as well to engage in this dialogue.
当前半岛形势处于重要敏感时期，中方一贯认为，安理会应发挥积极和建设性的作用，任何行动都应有助于维护半岛的和平稳定，有助于推动当事方恢复对话。同时，中方呼吁有关各方着眼大局，相向而行，聚焦推动半岛问题政治解决进程，多做有助于稳定局势、积累互信、